Okay, let me see who is here. I see some familiar faces. Nice. Welcome, everybody. Good morning. How beautiful that we can be here together in this virtual way. Even though it's virtual, there is a strong connection happening. And some of you know that already, which is beyond location, and space. We are visually seeing each other, but we're also connecting on a deeper level. The reason why we're here is that because there are two kinds of growth that happen on this planet. One is, let's say, automatic and unconscious, and natural in the sense that it's strictly connected, actually run by nature. It's an existential unfolding development that happens in the world of form. So anything that has a form on this planet has a life and has a life expectancy. And things are created, they exist, and then they disappear, most of them. There is a birth and there is a death, let's put it that way also. So all the natural world obeys to that law. It's run by this natural, unconscious growth and unfolding. So that happens on a mineral, on a plant, trees-based life, on animal-based life. And we are included in that. Our body is. Yeah. We don't need to do anything. In other words, we are born, and then the body grows, the heart is beating, the breath is happening by itself. 1,000,001 functions are happening on a cellular level. Yeah. And we don't need to do anything. It's far out, isn't it? I love it. It's great for lazy people like me. Everything happens by itself. This growth happens by itself. And the same with dogs, tigers, elephants, oak trees, cypresses, any tree, any plant, anything, even minerals. So they grow, they unfold. There is an unfolding happening within their lifetime. But man is the only of these beings on the planet that has a choice, or let's say it has the potential and the possibility to have a second kind of growth, which is conscious. Only in man this is happening, as far as we know. So a dog is born a dog. It's beautifully connected to nature. It follows his dogness or his doghood, right? And he lives a beautiful dog life, being a dog, completely natural, completely synchronized and connected to existence on a natural way. Very innocent. That's why we love animals. No, we see the beauty in animals. If you have a dog or a cat, you live with them, you know how beautiful it's being with them because of that pure heart that they have, how they're so innocent and so connected and so present. So a lot to learn in that sense from them. But still, a dog is born a dog and will die a dog. A lion is born a lion and it will die as a lion. There is no choice for them. Okay? It's a one-way track, a highway, beautiful existential highway, but still only one way, only one option. So man has the potential to be born as man, which is also an animal, but die as a god. So that's a big unfolding, a big evolution that can happen within this lifetime. There is a process that we could call it a flowering that is possible within human life. So we have a choice, and so we have the part that is the unconscious growth that happens anyway, mostly connected to the form, the body and everything connected to it. And then there is a conscious growth that is possible only if we choose that. And how do we choose that? We choose that through consciousness. That's why we said it's a conscious growth. And the reason why we're here, all of us, is because somewhere, maybe not so obvious, maybe in the back, in that back folder in the hard drive, really far away that you never see, but still something in you is pulling and tagging at you and asking for this second conscious growth to happen. Because it is our destiny. That's why we're here. So existence somehow has created this setup where humans have a possibility to grow exponentially within this life. Or if you believe in reincarnation, within many lives. The sages, they say we have been here for many thousands of lives. So we actually went through a process that includes mineral, plants, animals, humans. And this is the top of that evolution process, the tip of the pyramid. But we can still die as we were born. In other words, only the form will develop, growth, die and disappear, but nothing has happened on a consciousness level. But the reason why we're here, the reason why most of you are interested in meditation, interested in inquiring about, wait a second, there is something that I am missing. I know there is something I'm missing. I don't know what it is, but I know it's there. So this something is our divine nature, that whose destiny is to go through sooner or later this flowering, unfolding process. So there is something that is potentially there as a big potential that is calling us. This big potential is nothing else but the connection with the source where we come from. We can call it source, we can call it the divine, we can call it the impersonal beingness, call it existence, and it's bigger with a capital E. So how do we facilitate this unfolding, this flowering, is, as I said, through the refining and unfolding and growth in a certain way of consciousness. Growth is not a word that I like, because in reality, the seed, our potential, what they also call Buddhahood, it's already there. We are born with that. We're born with our original self, within itself, we could say, is divine, or is part of the divine. It's consciousness. But has been so when you see a newborn baby, you can see that. You can see how they're still like completely connected to existence. Much like a dog, we were saying, or a lion, yeah? They are very connected to existence. So a baby, when you look in their eyes, is like, wow, they're so pure, yeah? Crystal clear presence. There's nothing interfering yet. But they're not conscious of that. Then slowly, society, education, they train, they create a mind in them, and slowly, we add layers that start covering that original self. And we go into more in depth another time about that, how the egoic form is created. But it's definitely created to function in the society, in a certain society, and in this world. And is necessary. And there's nothing wrong in that. But what is wrong is that has covered up the original self to the point that we forgot about it. So we get identified so much with this egoic form that is created through the society, through the education, that we lost touch with the original part, with the divine part. So that's why I said growth is not the right word. In reality, it's like peeling an onion. We just start peeling and uncovering, taking out all the layers that are not who we really are, so that we reconnect with that original self that has been buried by these layers of, let's call it, conditioning. So it's not really a growth, is it? In a way, it's like rediscovering, uncovering what's already there. So the way we uncover it is through consciousness, through presence, we could say. And what is presence? We talked about it last week, I think, yeah? We say presence is being present, as the word says. And being present means being aware to anything that is arising within this mind-body system. Yeah. Being conscious or anything that I'm feeling, anything that is happening on the inside and on the outside. So meditation is an exploration of the inner, which we do a lot through the sitting practice. But then there is also awareness, not only of the inner, but the outer too. And we talked a bit about last time about being, for example, mindful of all our actions when we, in our daily life, yeah, when we function, when we move around the world, bringing awareness and mindfulness in movement. In other words, to whatever we do, to whatever we experience, not only when our eyes are closed, but also when they're open and we are in the world doing our daily life. So I brought up the example of drinking a cup of tea, yeah? The two ways to drink a cup of tea, for example. One in full awareness, one in unconsciousness. So choosing to bring that kind of alertness and awareness to every action is a way to crystallize this consciousness, let's call it, this presence, so that it becomes more and more solid, tangible. It's not like a concept. We start feeling it. Otherwise, we talk about words and concepts, but we have to bring everything to an embodiment of this. Otherwise, it's useless. We can talk and talk and talk for years and nothing happens. So I ask you to, and encourage you to practice during the week, during your days. Practice mindfulness. Apply what we're talking about here, because it has to become, of course, your full experience. Otherwise, it has no point. There's no point in meeting here and talking about anything. Okay, we'll sit together. That's great, but that's not enough. Once a week for half an hour, forget it. That is not enough. This half an hour can give you a taste of oh, this is how I can do it when I'm alone. It can give you a blueprint. It can give you an inspiration. Yeah. But eventually, it's up to you how much energy you want to dedicate to your own peeling the onion. So a daily practice is great. We're sitting, if you can. Try to cut a little section of your day where you say, okay, I'm going to sit just with myself now. Even if it's like 15, 20 minutes, whatever you can. Start with little if you can, and then let it grow organically. Slowly, slowly, you start feeling like, whoa, I love this. I love how it makes me feel. I want to sit longer. Then sit longer. Good. Yeah, but let it come organically. Don't push it. But try to discipline yourself a little bit just to say, okay, these are my like 15 minutes I'm going to sit, you know. And then you have the rest of the day to practice as well. Yeah, presence, which is beautiful. I'm telling you, it's just going to bring much more fun to your life, to bring more presence. Yeah. It's going to make your daily more juicy, your daily life more juicy, more fun, more crisp, more interesting. So what happens through presence in action, for example, is like we are not lost in the thoughts. We are becoming more and more aware of how we move through space, how we relate to people, how we see things, how do we perceive things, how do we hear, how do we touch. Yeah. So using the body as an anchor into the present moment. The body is the entry door to our being. No matter what most religion in the world has told you that the body is just, it's a sin. They went as far as saying that the body is a sin. Well, forget about that BS. The door to the divine is through this physical form. And that's why we are in this physical form. So becoming aware of the body, sensing, opening up our senses as much as we can. Pull out all your antennas and become awake and alert to anything that you feel. Much like when you look at a cat. Yeah, you must look at a cat, he's there, like, all elegantly sleeping. It seems like he's sleeping, just relaxing. And then there is a little noise far away and you see his ear, tick. His ears are standing up and they move around and he's like totally aware of that little sound that was like half a mile away, maybe, yeah? So he's present through his body completely. So we have to go back to that kind of presence first. Yeah. So reconnect and reevaluate, reinstate our animal nature because it's beautiful. Yeah. So drop all these kind of spiritual ideas that you might have got through reading books and listening to teachers and masters, and realize that the first step, essential, is becoming present in this body. Embody our presence. That's why all the anchors that I will give you that will help you to stay present are body oriented. So let me share something with you here. Hold on. Last time, we talked about the anchor of the weight, the gravitational pull. Remember? And here it is. So these are our first two anchors. Remaining present through feeling, yeah, through sensing, through the body. So the first one we talked about last week, feeling the body, and in particular feeling the grounding, so the pull of the earth on our body, the weight of all the parts of the body, let them fall downwards, which means relaxing. Connecting with the earth energy means, I'm going to allow the gravitational pull to happen without creating tension that are pulling away from it. So I just like let everything, my shoulders, all my muscles in the face, any little muscles, let it relax and let it be pulled downwards. Simple, no? Until I reach a level of complete relaxation. That happens through grounding ourselves, just allowing the weight of the body to becoming aware. If I'm holding anything, because any holding in the body, any tension fights against gravity. Yeah. So if I'm tensing my shoulders go up. And the moment they relax, they relax. They fall downwards. So easy. And then we talk about sky, energy that is above, that also pulls upwards a little bit, much, much, much more subtle than the earth energy. I don't want to go back into that. Today we talk about the breath, which is the second anchor. The natural way of breathing is the natural way of breathing is the way you breathe at night. Yeah? Did you notice how you breathe at nighttime? When you wake up in the morning, you still can notice it. Yeah? Try tomorrow morning or try in the middle of the night if you wake up, and you will see that your belly is going up and down as you breathe. Sometime during the day too, if you're breathing properly, but many times people do not breathe in a natural way. If you look at children again and babies, they always breathe, let's say from their belly breathing, let's call it. This belly breathing happens because there is a particular muscle which is called diaphragm. And I'm gonna show it to you now. The diaphragm is, can you see it? It's located at the bottom of the lungs, yeah? So the lungs is this pink thing. There's two things. And this pink orange arched, almost shaped like a curve, that's the diaphragm. That's the muscle. This muscle, when we breathe naturally, expands downwards. And by expanding, growing downwards, so it gets bigger, growing towards your belly center, let's say. By doing that, what happens is that he pulls air into the lungs. So it's not that actually we have to use our thoracic muscles to enlarge the lungs to breathe. We just have to let the diaphragm fall down. So it's again grounding. It's a grounding action happening. The diaphragm goes downwards. So now put your two hands, one on your chest and one on your belly, and just relax and try to breathe naturally. Now, if you're relaxed, and that means if your diaphragm is relaxed, your belly moves and your chest doesn't. Is that what's happening right now for you? Can you feel it? Okay, there should be at least 80% of belly and 20% of chest. Sometimes it's so much belly that you don't even feel the chest moving. So that means you're breathing correctly in a natural way. That means your diaphragm is relaxed. If you can't feel it right now, try lying down later. It's even easier when you lie down. So why is natural breathing important? Well, because first of all, it will release a lot of tension that you will create in your cervical if you breathe from the chest. So if you constantly breathe from the chest, you have a lot of tension that accumulates here. And also the diaphragm is connected with liver and other organs. So the actual natural movement of the diaphragm, when it's relaxed, it allows for a better health of those organs, as well as much more relaxation in the muscles, thoracic, neck, and the base of the neck. So if you have cervical problem and headache, you might want to watch how you're breathing, for example. If you have migraine that comes from the base of your skull and the neck, watch how you're breathing. But there is another energy. This is the physical part. There is an energy part, energetical aspect of why it is important to breathe naturally, which is the in the belly, there is a center, call it belly center, or in Japan, they call it Hara. In China, they call it Dantian. It's an important center because it's like the battery of our whole energy system in the body. This center is located more or less 3 inches or 3 fingers below your navel, your belly button, inside, not on the surface, more or less. So some of you, I'm sure they're already aware of that, and some of you will become more aware of that as we're talking about it now. And in the weeks and months and years to come through your practice, you will start feeling like maybe a little ball or something like a concentration, something that is a little more dense in the belly there. So we completely lost connection with our belly, especially in the Western culture. In Japan, if you go like in the countryside and you go to old people and where people that live in the villages, sometimes they still see them going like, how we say, oh, let me think about it. Oh, wait a second, let me think about it. And we put our hands here. And they go like, oh, let me think about it. And they bring their hands on their belly. They still do that. Yeah. And now science is coming to say, well, we have two brains. One is in our belly. There's very interesting studies. They call it a brain. But let's keep it simple and become aware of this point, which is the Hara is a place that accumulates all the energy that then it gets redistributed in the body when we need it. So it's very important. It's like a big battery. So it's the source of all our energy. It's also connected to earth when we are relaxed. So being grounded through the first anchor we talked about, through feeling and allowing the weight of the body to be there, the pull of the earth to happen. We also allow that on the belly. So when we relax the diaphragm, we relax the belly, there is a pull of the earth on the belly too. And there is a magnetic charging as well. The charging in the belly happen through earth, sky, all the energy surrounding us, as well as prana, which is the energy that we breathe in. It's called prana in India. It's called in different ways. But this energy is also called chi or ki once it's in the body. And it's vital energy, elan vital, life force. So when we breathe correctly, why am I saying all this? Because when you breathe correctly, you might feel not only a beautiful sense like a massage in your diaphragm and in your belly, but you can also feel slowly that you're bringing not only air and oxygen through the lungs, but there is also chi and energy coming through the breathing that gets transported to the belly center. Yeah, on an energy level. Of course, the air doesn't go in the belly. The air goes in the lung, physically speaking. But the energy, when the diaphragm and the belly are relaxed, moves all the way to your hara, to your belly center. So if you watch the movement of the air and the movement of the belly when you breathe, the bottom part, where the deepest part where the air reaches inside your belly, the deepest, lowest part that you can perceive the air reaching when you're completely relaxed, that is your belly center. That is your dantian, your hara. Yeah, so that's a good way to perceive it too. So breathing correctly, and it's a beautiful, and becoming aware of that breathing, it's a beautiful anchor into the present moment. So to be used again, especially when the mind is very busy and we sit and it's like, oh my God, I can't relax today, or the mind is so overwhelming, it's always going, I can't stop it. So use these anchors that I'm giving you. The first one, the one we did last week, and this one we're practicing today, breath. Awareness to the breath, which is, that's actually what one of the main technique Buddha used for his enlightenment 3,000 years ago. 2,500 years ago. So if you've done Vipassana, you know it's one of the basic um, anchors that they use is the breath. Vipassana is a Buddhist meditation, if you don't know what it is. So becoming aware of the breath and just allow yourself to feel it. Feel the inside and the outside, what happens when we breathe. And just maintaining your attention on the breathing. It's a beautiful way to become present. Again, through feeling, through sensing, not through thinking. Thinking brings you away from presence, from the present moment. The body is always present. The mind is never present. So we use the body to remain present more and more. Okay? So just feeling the breath. We're going to practice that today. So let's put all this concept into practice so we can experience it. Okay? So find a comfortable position to sit. If you can have the back relatively straight, erect, better. If you need to lean back on something, maybe you can prop yourself with a pillow in the lower back so the back is still straight. And when you're ready, you start closing your eyes. And noticing, how does the body feel from the inside? Do a quick scan to see if there is anything that can be more relaxed. Maybe you can start from the muscles of the face. How does your face feel like? Is there any muscle on your face that you can relax more? Just relax. You might even feel a gentle sense of a smile coming when you relax your face. Let it come. Feeling your face, your expression from the inside as you relax. And then slowly going down to the neck and the shoulders. Make sure there's no extra tension that you're holding there. We're just here to relax so we can take this time to let everything go. So let your shoulders fall downwards towards the earth. Let your arms be relaxed on your lap, wherever they're leaning. Feel the weight of the arms, shoulders. And slowly scan the body from inside. Keep going downwards, chest, lower back, pelvis area, all the way down to the feet. Do your own scan with your attention and let go of any extra tension that are still there, that are not needed. We start becoming aware of the weight of the body on the cushion or on the floor, on the chair. And we allow that Allow that pull of the earth to happen by relaxing. As if we allow our body to fall a little bit more towards the earth, sinking more into the cushion. Keep relaxing all the muscles, letting them fall downwards, and sinking into the earth and connecting as if you're sending roots into the earth. Feeling the body becoming more solid and more heavy. Noticing if your belly is also relaxed and your diaphragm. Or you allow them to fall downwards or not. Is there some holding or not? And that will connect you naturally to the breath and the breathing process that is happening beautifully by itself without you doing anything. And the more you relax your belly and your diaphragm, you will notice that the belly is moving gently with the rhythm of the breath. Enjoying the feeling, the sensation of the breathing. Feeling the air coming in at the nostrils, fresh air coming in, bringing new energy to the body, bringing oxygen to all the cells, bringing life force and prana to your whole body and particularly to your belly center. So feel with every in-breath as if this air is reaching deep into your belly. Bringing chi or ki to your dantian, your Hara center. Nourishing your center. It's a beautiful feeling. Once we start perceiving it, it's very relaxing and calming and nourishing. That grounds us in this place and in this moment. Nothing to do, just watching. And keep relaxing the body. Also noticing when the air goes out, how there is a natural contraction of the diaphragm that gets smaller. It's just like a shrinking. It's not really a contraction. It just empties. The diaphragm helps the lungs to get emptied by going upwards. And your belly bottom, you go towards your belly bottom, your belly goes flat. It goes towards your belly bottom, pulling in, almost as this, the belly bottom goes towards your spine. But it happens by itself, you don't need to do it. The lungs emptied out, the air goes out with a sense of deep letting go, deep relaxation. Just letting everything go with the out breath. It's like a small death every out breath. Noticing at the end of the out breath, there is a little pause before the next in breath starts. That little pause might get a little longer with time. Again, not by doing it, but just through natural relaxation. And in that pause, there is a fraction of a second of complete stillness, where not even the movement of the breath is there. Observe that. Notice it. If at any time you notice a thought that has carried you away from the present moment, you just notice that. And by becoming aware of it, the thought will stop. And you bring your attention back to the breathing process. To the air coming in, bringing life force to your whole system, regenerating yourself. And the out breath, letting go of everything that is not necessary. Until you're for a fraction of a second completely still in that little pause at the end of the out breath. And then let the cycle start again. An ever-present, ever-going cycle of in-breath and out-breath, life and death happening within every breathing cycle. Enjoying the sense of presence in your body that happens through the breathing and the becoming aware of the breathing. Sensing it, feeling it. And grounding yourself to the present moment through that. And very gently and slowly bring your attention back to the periphery a little more. Start moving your toes or your fingers, your body a little bit. When you're ready, open your eyes. So I hope that was a good taste of breathing with presence. So this awareness of the breathing can happen throughout the day as well. Again, bringing mindfulness to everything that is happening inside and outside in our daily life means also becoming aware of the breath. It means also becoming aware of the weight of the body under your feet when you stand or when you're sitting, just feeling, oh, where I am, I'm right here. Here's my body. Here's the weight. Here's the pull of the earth happening. Beautiful. Am I relaxed? Am I allowing that to be? Am I holding something? Can I relax more? Can I let go more into the earth? Is my breathing natural? Is my belly moving or not? No, there's something. My diaphragm is a little stuck, a little blocked. What is it? Bring attention to everything. No, small details, but they're not small. That's what brings presence to us. That's how we learn to crystallize that presence. Move away from the attention of the mind, this inner voice that is always talking inside the head and with which we get identified a lot of the time, and bring it back to the body. Bring all that attention, that energy back to the body. Embody your own true self. Literally embody it. Embody your own energy through these anchors. So there's a lot of hours, a lot of time to practice during the day. Not only when you sit, but also all the time that you are awake. When you're sleeping, it's a little more difficult. We're not there yet. But at least the conscious part of the day, when our conscious mind is active, let's bring presence there. Let's practice presence in our conscious part of the day. So I would like to open the space to anything that wants to be shared. If there is something that you would like to share, or some question or doubt, anything you want to, you just raise your hand and I'll give you the unmute your mic. Jan, how is it going over there?
Yes, I really enjoyed this again today, and each time I'm learning something new. It's beautiful. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
You'd like to share something of what you learned, or is that private?
Yes, what you mentioned is the prana, I think.
Yeah.
That is the part in the belly.
Yes.
where the energy is coming from, and that is the deepest part that you feel if you are breathing in. And that was a very nice, description what you gave me.
Yeah, it's a nice trick, isn't it?
Yeah, and I had a question. Can you relate this also to one of the chakras, or is this something else?
Yeah, some people say that the second, according to the Hindu tradition, it's close to the, or correspond or close to the second chakra.
Yeah.
But I'm not so familiar with the chakra system. I mean, I know it, but definitely it's in that area.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's also, Hara is also the center from where normally people leave their body when they die. I mean, the people, by meaning the soul or the energy force leaves from there usually. It's also called the life and death center. It's also where we are connected. The navel is very close. We're connected to the mother. So that's where life starts, where we get the nourishment. Just like we're getting the nourishment now through the prana, when we are in the belly, we get the nourishment through the umbilical cord that comes from mother. So it's activating and feeding that center from the very beginning, already in those 9 months we're in the belly. That's why it's birth and death connected in the same center. So very, very basic, very important center. It's a center that when we become aware of it, when the belly is relaxed and we let that center be flooded by the earth energy, by relaxing it, we feel very present. We feel like a mountain, like that nothing can move you, like sitting like a mountain. That happens when you're very relaxed in your belly and you start feeling like this Buddha belly, a little bit bigger than usual. Yeah. That's why Buddha, especially in Japan and in China, are always depicted with a big belly. The statues that you see, they don't care about aesthetic. The Indian Buddhas are more aesthetic, they're more like wider shoulders and smaller belly. But the Chinese and Far East Japanese, they always have a big belly because that's the truth of their being. They're very grounded in their belly center. So they depicted in that way for that reason. Yeah. So, yeah. It helps a lot. That's a nice trick to feel where, when you're relaxed, how deep goes my breath and how can I feel that deepest point in the belly, and that is your center. That is the center. You feel it. It's right what you said. It's a wonderful way to perceive it. It's a nice trick. Yeah. Good. Nice. Glad to see you again. It's been a while, since we were in Mandali last time we saw each other.
Yeah.
I just want to say thank you, Shastro. I'm leaving now, and again, I'm very, very happy to sit with you and get this inspirational guidance.
Great, Jija. Nice to have you here. Always. Yeah, Jija is the manager director of Mandali Center. So those of you that have been there know her. Okay, what else wants to be shared? Abhilasha, tell me something.
Yeah, it's very precious. Thank you. Really, I know all the, I'm doing meditation already, but in a way I had an accident and with my body, and then I noticed it hurts. Sometimes it hurts so much, and I want to go away from it. But now I notice also when I take really time to be with it, and then it can relax. So then it's more showering it with energy. What you said about the belly, and then to give it more prana. And
yes,
instead, I want to go away from it and smoke a cigarette.
yes.
But I think it's just the wrong way. I notice now that it is more to be with the body than instead of running away from it.
Yes, very, very good understanding. Yeah, you're right. It is true. It's like bringing prana to your pain, you know, wherever there is a pain in the body. You can also visualize that. You bring prana, fresh life force. You bring life force to it. So instead of isolating that pain into a little box that then it doesn't get any way to expand and relax, you bring fresh energy life to it through your consciousness, you know, through your awareness. That's a beautiful way. And it's not that the pain will disappear, but something will, you give it a chance to relax a little bit, you know, and be nourished. So all your body needs to be nourished. Otherwise you say, okay, I nourish the part that don't feel pain, but the part that are in pain, I don't nourish them anymore, you know, that doesn't help. Of course, you're totally right.
So thank you. Yeah.
And it's true, it is the doorway. And well, I also want to say that through entering the temple, the inner temple, through the body, the deeper we enter into the body, the more we also move into the formless. So the entry point to the formless is form. You can't jump into formless right away. So first we enter the body fully with our full awareness. Through practice, you will notice after a while, you know, you're sitting there and you feel like your body suddenly starts going far away, more far away, and you're more into a kind of a space that doesn't quite have a form. That can happen too, and it does happen. Then you don't feel the body as much, or you feel it, but it's like far away, but it happened through an organic process of entering into consciousness. So the first step is always embodying our life force as much as we can. And don't worry about that. The rest happens by itself. Yeah. Okay. Anything else that likes to be shared? Yes, Hara.
When you put it, it is so easy, it is so simple, it's so interesting, and it's like supercharged, you know, for a day, 2 days, 3 days, and then I find myself escaping so bad, you know. It's like, oh no, I don't want to eat with myself, I want to watch a movie and eat, and I'm running so much, you know. I don't know how to keep it up, you know. The more I want to, and I feel really good, but the more I want to do it, the more I'm escaping, you know.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know that feeling. It's very, you expressed it very well. Yeah. So the first thing to notice is that something wants to escape the present moment. Yeah, that's it. So we bring awareness to what is here and now. Oh, here and now, in this moment, I notice that part of me wants to get away from this moment. Right? That is awareness. That's mindfulness. That's already mindfulness. So then suddenly you go like, God, I so want to watch this movie tonight, you know? That's okay. Watch the movie. But you're aware that you want to watch the movie, right? So as long as you notice that is not necessarily a way to space out and not being present, you can be present while you watch the movie. It's not a problem, right? Because otherwise we start creating should and should not, you know, oh no, I should be present 24 hours a day. Well, it's not like that. I am present to whatever is happening, that's all. And not only that, but I do not judge what I see. So choiceless awareness, as Buddha used to call it, is an awareness that doesn't choose, oh, this is right and this is wrong, you know, this is spiritual and this is not. That's all like BS. Stands for bullshit. Yeah, just be present to what is, that's it. So be present while you watch a movie and enjoy it. Oh man, I'm so enjoying this movie. And sometimes, you know, if it's a love story, you might start crying and you go like, wow, that's amazing how I got identified with the character in the movie. And then you're aware of that. Or maybe it's a thriller and you find yourself chewing your nails and you go like, God, look at that. I got so identified, you know? Okay, can I relax and realize it's just a screen and I'm here watching? I'm the watcher, I'm not the movie. And then you can practice through that mindfulness. Everything is an opportunity to become present. So don't judge anything. Otherwise, you start beating yourself up like, oh no, I have to do this, I have to do that. Then the fun is out, right? Our daily life should be fun, enjoying it through awareness, not suffer through awareness. So it's very good to notice it, that something in you wants to run away, then you notice it and see what it is. And that in that moment that you notice it, you're present. Realize that. In the moment you notice, oh my God, I was thinking, I was, you know, thinking, I was going all around the world or whatever, I was lost in my thought. In the moment you notice that, you become present. There's no need to, oh my God, I shouldn't, don't judge it. I shouldn't thinking, oh no, I should be present. Well, you are present. In that moment, you are present. If you start judging yourself for thinking, you're again gone. You're not present anymore. You're lost in the mind again, coming from the back door. So notice that, simply notice whatever's happening, notice. In the moment you notice what's happening, you bring awareness, you bring presence. That's it. Release any judgment and just notice, oh, I was thinking, okay. Look, now the thinking stopped because I brought awareness to it. Beautiful, let me enjoy this breath now. Or let me, whatever, take a nice walk and enjoy it, you know, and be present. So very important what we're saying, to realize the difference between being present and not being present is a fraction of a second. It happens in a fraction of a second. So why wasting time judging that we are not present if we can be present in a second, right? Why bother? Waste of time, waste of energy. So just notice, oh, I was lost in thought. Beautiful, you're already present. In the moment you notice it, don't waste one iota of energy on it again. Let alone start judging yourself. Poof. waste of your life force. Yeah, but very true. Thank you for sharing that. Super important. Yeah.
Oh, and I love you guys.
Yes, we love you too. Okay. Anything else that wants to be shared? So namaste, much love, and we'll see you next Friday.